The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
Wow, this is totally amazing. I have done this show for quite a while now, folks, but I never thought I would be able to not only interview space aliens, but then to be able to do it again is just mind-blowing. And here today we have another opportunity for just that to happen. So if I could have you explain to the audience who you are and why you're here, that would be great.
My name is Karina Gabazoot, but you can call me Car, and I am here to collect one of my errant participants, and I have it on good authority that individual is within these premises.
Okay, well, it's good to meet you, Car, but what you just said sounds a little vague. Could you be a little more specific?
I suppose so, if you insist. I need to capture Zabagabazuka and bring him back to Guacamole to stand trial for charges that have been lodged against him. Ha!
So what, you're some kind of bounty hunter?
No. I am his overseer, and he has violated his terms of freedom, and he must be apprehended and returned to Guacamole to stand trial for unauthorized interplanetary travel.
You're his overseer, or so you're like his probation officer or something like that?
Well, I suppose that terminology could apply, although we do not use that term on Guacamole. I am known as his overseer, and that is all you need to know. So if you could bring Zabagabazuka to me right now, I can then be on my way back to Guacamole.
But he was here the other day along with another guy from the planet Clitoris. But they left, man, and I have no idea where they are. I assume they got back into their little flying saucers and zipped off to wherever it is you guys zip off to. And he just took a bunch of Tootsie Rolls and Reese peanut butter cups, and off he went.
This is an unacceptable response from you, and I shall now have to invoke my galactic providence and insist that you bring him forward to me now. To do otherwise would be most unfortunate for you.
That almost sounds like a threat, and I can tell you straight up, I am not a guy that you should threaten. I mean, I do have fucking Darth Vader on my security team, and he can probably do some of that Force stuff where he moves his hands around and just slam you into a wall or something like that.
I can assure you that Vader has been negated from the equation, and he will be of no help to you at all. So bring Zab to me now before I lose my patience with you, human.
What? No way. Hey, Darth. Darth? Oh, shit, man. Where'd he go? Hammy, could you go see where Darth went?
He's
Well,
nowhere
that
to be
sucks.
found, Joe.
So, look, Dak or Jack or Carr or whatever the fuck your name is, Zab isn't here. He left a couple days ago, and I have no idea where he is. So you can just leave, or I'll have call the cops and have you removed from the premises.
Your puny law enforcement officials have been sequestered to an ancient dungeon beneath the city, and they can be of no assistance to you either. So bring Zab to me now. I command you to do so.
Okay, look, this is getting fucking weird. I can't have people commanding me to do anything. I'm an American citizen after all. And what was that you said about an ancient dungeon beneath the city? What the fuck does that even mean? I don't know anything about any galactic law, and this is Texas, buddy, and we take our freedom awfully seriously around here. And lastly, just so you know, I am a certified UFC fighter, and if need be, I can throw down with the best of them. So if you want a piece of me, bring it on, motherfucker.
You what? Ha, ha, ha. Almost got you, Joe.
Zab? You son of a bitch. Was this some kind of prank you're trying to pull?
Yeah, and I had you going there for a minute or two. I get a kick out of this sort of shit.
So who the fuck is this guy here? Is he really your probation officer?
No, he is named Carr, but he's just a guy I met at the intergalactic gas station over by your anus, and he said he was a big fan of yours and wanted to meet you, so we cooked up this idea to have him be my overseer, to arrest me, and take me back to Guacamole. And you got to admit, Joe, we had you going for a minute there.
Yeah, I will admit I was getting a little worked up there, but where did Darth go?
Oh, we hooked him up with a couple of broads from the Zuzu system, and they're over at the Sheridan knocking boots and drinking champagne, and no doubt, having a hell of a time.
Jamie, were you in on this ruse as well? Well, I gotta
Joe,
say,
was in
you
on
guys
it.
got me, and Darth needed a break anyway. He's been working awfully hard the past couple weeks. So, what's the story with you, Car? You hooked up with Zab at a gas station?
Yes, at a refueling depot located near your anus.
What you mean is Uranus, right?
Yes, that is what I said already.
Now, is that even your real voice? I mean, you sound like that guy from the Scary Movie franchise.
Yeah, Joe, that voice was created with our galactic translator tool, and this is what I ordinarily sound like when I speak human. But if I were to use my language of origin, you could not understand me. So we must use the galactic translator tool so that you, the human, can understand what we say.
Yeah, that makes sense. But Zab, you said you were heading back home to get that legal mess straightened out, and now you've come back here to Earth. Aren't you guys tracked or anything like that? I mean, how do you just steal a flying saucer and travel halfway across the universe?
You do that carefully, Joe, very carefully, and no, we are not tracked. Monitored, yes, but tracked, no. So we can go pretty much anywhere we want to, as long as you have enough galactic credits to purchase the required fuel. The fuel vendors only care about being paid, so they don't check IDs.
You have to show ID to buy gas?
Well, ordinarily, yes. ID is required to replenish your fuel cells at registered fuel depots, but you can always find a shady character that is willing to bend the rules a bit.
Yeah, we have a lot of politicians here on Earth that follow that sort of guideline as well.
They are only following the regulations that were put into place back when we made that deal with President Eisenhower. And some of those regulations require a certain amount of grift, so the experiments can continue.
Experiments? What sort of experiments are we talking about here, Zab?
As much as I'd love to let you in on that one, Joe, I can only say I am bound by a vow of silence. And just like the Goes sang about back in the 80s, our lips are sealed. That record was put out as a secret message to all of the earthbound intergalactic inhabitants to put a cork in it. So I can't tell you anything about all of that stuff.
Huh, interesting. So, Car, what's the deal with you? Why'd you decide to travel along with this fruitcake to planet Earth?
It has always been my desire to meet the mighty Joe Rogan, and my new friend, Zab, has allowed that dream to bear fruit, and I am ever so grateful to him for facilitating this momentous occasion. Plus, I've always wanted to see Texas.
Well, that's pretty straightforward. Although that whole mighty Joe Rogan thing is a bit much, if you ask me. And I'd like to be a good host, so I will ask you the same thing I asked Zab the other day. Is there anything I can do to help you enjoy your stay here on Earth?
Yes, there is, Joe. I have a few very specific requests that I feel do not venture outside the guidelines set forth by the Galactic Travel Commission, and any assistance you may be able to provide would be greatly appreciated.
Okay. What might those specific requests be?
Firstly, I would like to have a double shot of bourbon poured into a chilled tumbler.
Okay, I can make that happen.
Secondly, I would very much appreciate it if you could fire up a big doobie and allow me to consume by myself the vast majority of said doobie.
All right, I think that's totally doable.
And lastly, because of your extensive Hollywood connections, I would really appreciate if you could get me an invite to one of Puff Daddy's Freakorama parties so I could experience firsthand what that whole freak-off thing is all about.
Yeah, that one would be pretty tough, if not impossible, since Puff Daddy is currently occupying cell space in a Manhattan federal prison, and anybody and everybody that ever had anything to do with any of that shit is basically hiding under a rock now. So that one would have to be a no-go, and even if he was still engaging in all of that shit, those guys weren't exactly on my radar, so I probably couldn't have helped you with that anyway.
Oh, that is a pity to hear. We have heard such fantastic tales of this on my home planet of Zucchini, and I so wanted to be able to experience that.
Yeah, well, that's how it goes sometimes, man. But wait a second, you said you were from the planet Zucchini?
Yes, I am from Zucchini.
And Zab, you're from Guacamole?
Yeah, I'm from Guacamole.
That's fucking crazy. Well, I guess even out in the far reaches of the universe, you still need to eat your vegetables. All right, everybody, that is our show for today. And even though there at the beginning I was a little worried, it turned out to be just fine. And again, I really appreciate you guys coming on the show. And Zab, you have got to straighten up your act, man. Or else you're going to have a for real bounty hunter like Boba Fett coming after your ass. And I'd hate to hear that you got locked up and sent to some gulag on Pluto.
No, Joe, those are all on your anus.
You mean Uranus?
Yeah, Uranus.
Okay, everybody. We are out of here.
Remember to like and subscribe, and together we can rule the galaxy.
Joe Rogan Podcast, check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.